Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. This is once again actually the small Peugeot e-208. It's not mine, I haven't sold the Tesla, I've borrowed it for a while from a very good friend. And I thought it would be interesting to live with it for a while, a bit like I have done previously with the e-Niro. And well, sadly I haven't had the time to drive very much the last week because of life and stuff comes in the way, as it always does, you know, for most of us. I like it. I liked it when we shot it the first time, and I still like it. I do have some issues. One of them I choose to start the entire thing with. Right, the car is in park. I turn take the handbrake off now. And now you're gonna see what I mean. Let's open the door. Pretty scary, isn't it? The car was on level ground, no reason to roll off. And then you open the door and it scares the living daylights out of you. Why? Because the automotive industry simply can't seemingly make systems that talk to each other. If they had talked to each other, the car would know that the gearbox was in park, so it couldn't roll off unless the gearbox is broken, and thus it's safe to open the door. But it is set up in such a way that the handbrake must be applied to do so. I understand the premise behind it, but it is still, but I disagree with the implementation. Now, that's the biggest, well, one of the biggest downside. The other one is the infotainment system. We'll get to that in due time. It is very nice to drive this. It's really a very competent. Let's go down there. I have no set. I just want to have a drive with it, and let's take you with me. Now, we need to charge, so we can try that as well. Seats are brilliant. They really are comfortable. It's relatively quiet in here. It's not a Lexus, and it's not meant to be. And it doesn't go like a Tesla, and it's not meant to do that either. In Norway, this car costs around 300,000 NOK, which, depending on the exchange rate, is around 30,000. Let's just say $30,000, just for ease of it. I don't know what it costs abroad. I would imagine it's 40,000 pounds maybe. In the UK, I should have looked this up. The number will be down there. So, compared to normal small cheap cars from Peugeot, it is relatively expensive, at least abroad, and not so much in Norway because of the fantastic way we tax things. We can also remove tax on things we want to sell more of, which is what they've done. The range is, I don't know what she said, between 250 and 300 and something, I would imagine. So about the same as the second gen Ioniq, except the Ioniq uses less energy, but you know. Price-wise, they're around the same thing as well, I think. So the comparison isn't really all that bad. Unlike the Ioniq, this is much more fun to drive. We have the small steering wheel, we have the 3D cockpit that you either like or you don't like. Personally, I find it to be rather nice. It's nicely customizable. Sadly, there is no glass roof in this one, so I can't. Otherwise, I could have popped the camera up there and shown you, but I can't. The driving experience is, well, it is electric, and now I am beginning to understand what Otto Car meant, that all electric cars are created equal, and well, that's partly true. But it is a few things in it, niggles, that you won't notice it if you haven't driven an electric car, and you won't notice it if you come from, well, you will actually, because in most other electric cars it starts to regen when you lift your foot off. Here it doesn't necessarily do that. You have to lift off entirely, and then it sort of starts to regen. It's a little bit strange. It has a slight delay to it as well. When it goes into full regen, you have to lift off and then wait for a few tenths or something, and then it kicks in. It is a minor thing, and very few people will ever notice. And it have absolutely no importance whatsoever. I just notice it because, well, my experience, and I come from Tesla, which doesn't do that. It has probably one of the best motor control units in the world. So I think if you come from a Lexus, you will notice that everything else is creaky and noisy. It's very simple. That's just how life is. You become a snob. You don't want to be, but you know, your reference points are so different than everything else. The ride, the suspension is very nice. It's pliant, but not too stiff, unlike the, say, for instance, the Mini. The Mini has a much stiffer ride than this. It's not necessarily less compliant, but it is stiffer. And the Mini has better steering and different seats. But these seats do really give rather good side support. I must say, I do like them very much indeed. And, well, it goes as well. It has 150 horses, I think, something like that. So you know, it doesn't scamper, and it allows you to actually travel through time and space, unlike, for instance, the Model S does, or the Taycan, which just shrinks time space and just you move instantly to a different space entirely. It's just absurd. This is more sane like that, and it doesn't scare you or try to, you know, snap your neck off, which is pleasant. The sound system is good. Yes, there is a slight hesitation there for a reason. But for the price, I actually think it's very nice. It's adequate. By all means, there's nothing wrong with it. The infotainment system is, when you have the car, like my friend have had this now for half a year soon, I think. I think she got it in May. And she absolutely loves it. See, cruise control is on. It's adaptive, by the way. So you can just plonk your speed in, and it will hopefully not allow you to crash. Charge screen. We're now on a 50 kilowatt charger, probably a cold battery though. 90. See, there you can see the percentage. Because it's not up when you drive the car, but it is up now. And it is also up in the app. There is an app to this car. I don't have access to it, or that's not entirely true. My phone downloaded it, but you have to register and stuff, and I don't really bother about doing that. So you have access to the percentage. They just haven't bothered to show it to you. Because when you turn the car on, you see here, you have your range meter. That's all you have. There is no percentage in this car anywhere. Once again, that's just the car industry for you. They do not understand electric cars. They do not understand what I need as a driver. Sure, you get used to the range indicator. It gives you a range. It gives you, you know, you can see. It works. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just, and you also have this with the brakes. They light up more and more of them as the battery fills up or depletes, depending on. So you know, you have plenty of indication, and I'm sure once you reach under a certain as maybe in the ID3. I forgot to ask the owner. Maybe then the percentage comes up. But it is very strange that the information is in the system and then they just haven't chosen not to implement it for some strange reason. That just doesn't make sense to me. Of course you have here, you have, see, this. You might think this is the home button. No, it takes you here. Okay, this is the sit-down. Takes you nowhere really. And then you have this. This is the recirculation button. Off, climate off button. I don't know why it is there, but it is there for some reason. And the AC max. And then you have the hazards. And the feel of it is very nice, very tactile. I like the view and the feel of this. And this is your. So you have those. And then you have heated seats. You can tap it, alright, but still is a little bit and then you have this, the physical volume and probably on off button as well. Call list. This is sort of an app where you have your Android Auto and your stuff energy, get your statistics up. So it actually tells you how much energy it uses standing still. Oh, okay. I mean, here, your headlamp thingy and your stuff, and go here and go options. That's your options list. Then your system settings and stuff. It's not the best, is it? Push this, you expect to go, and you have to go back out again, and you have to go here. You push, for instance, you push nav. It's a bit slow and it goes there. So run this in the map. As you can see, you can customize it in different settings. Minimum, for instance, and energy, and all sorts of things, and that's nice. It's a little bit like the Audi has done for years, only less fancy, but it's the same idea. With two people in here and with long legs, it's not much space left, but the seats are very comfortable to sit in. Very nice materials. The rest is a bit that was a charge for over 11 minutes and we're back now at almost 40%. I don't remember exactly what we came with. Exactly. So it does charge relatively quickly, but it is a relatively small pack too, so you're sort of back to the Ioniq conundrum. A relatively limited range, but decent quick charging when you need it. So yeah, so the charge curve feels alright. It's 12 degrees outside today, by the way, just for information. I don't know how active this heating or cooling is for the battery. It certainly doesn't preheat, to my knowledge. But I must say that it is peppy enough as well. Quite brisk, more than quick enough to keep up with traffic. As you can see, the interior is, I won't call it cramped, but I'm 6'1" or something like that. I'm almost 1 meter and 90 centimeters. And when I sit here, even the seat in the lowest position, the rear view mirror is right in my eye line. So to sort of look beyond that, I have to crane my neck a little bit, sort of bow down to see, and the space between the bottom of the rearview mirror and the top of the screen, it isn't really very big. No, you can't say that it is. It is once again a little tiny detail and something most people will never notice. And it certainly isn't an issue. Why does the traction control keep kicking in, I wonder? Strange. On a bone dry road. Oh well. It does do some nice things when you have the keys in your pocket. I'm sure you can choose this to turn it on or off. It does unlock itself when you walk up to it, and it locks itself on when you walk away from it. So in that regard, it's like the Renault, and also the Teslas, of course, they do the same thing. So it's very convenient. Take the interior tour, I guess, while we're charging. As see, I already shown you there, shown you this. Cup holders, you have drive modes here, handbrake, glossy, yeah, plastic. Charger, it's supposed to be wireless, it doesn't really do anything. I don't know why, I haven't done really bother. Stuff to keep room to keep your thing. 12 volt, 2 USBs, as you can see there. A glove box, and some storage, not much, but you know, a bit. Door pockets, standard switch gear, and some more switch gear here, just one button. The rest maybe, I don't know, maybe it's too expensive, can't tell you. Your cruise control thing here. One interesting thing I noticed in the start stop for the engine. So I don't know what they thought about, because there is no engine here. So, but you have to use it regardless. This is carbon fiber, or it's supposed to be. It's now, I did not know carbon fiber was soft. In my mind, that was also a very rigid material. But so there you know. Maybe they've revolutionized it or something. Yeah, it's charging now. Again at 150 kilowatt charge. Coffee, always coffee. Yes, good. Oh yes, the cup holders, by the way, there are two different. One big and one smaller, slightly smaller. When it comes to consumption, it's okay, I guess. It's nothing revolutionary, but then again, it isn't meant to be revolutionary. Oh, I'm taking up a lot of spaces now, aren't I? No, it's still a leaf there, and there's a Kia Soul. Yay, the Kia Soul. And over there's an Ioniq, and the Ford Raptor. The European Raptor, mind you, not the big daddy of the American, the F-150, that's really cool. The European Raptor is cool, but yeah, you know, a bit too small. And it's a diesel engine. I don't like diesel engines, do we? The drive modes, I must say, it really is a marked difference. Put it here, put it now. Now it is in eco, so put the foot down. No, not very much happening. Put it in normal, put the foot down. Yeah, bit quicker. Put the thing in sport. Yeah. So to sum up, it's a good car. If you don't like the weather, which it just turns dark, it's a very nice car. It really is. It has its foibles, like I mentioned, but the owners are happy, and that's the important thing. That it has some strange set of buttons and an infotainment system you don't really understand. You get used to that as well. After all, it's quick enough. The range is decent enough, and The audio system is good. It has some ambient interior lighting as well. Very nice now in the dark. Automatic wipers. It has decent equipment. And unlike the Peugeot or the Audi, you don't have to pay a fortune for everything. And on roads like this, it is fun. It's a good steer, this. Not as fun as the Mini, but it's not as rabid as the Mini either. So you know, it's a good middle ground. Very good. If you want to read more about my thoughts of the car, you can do so on livingevs.com. The link will be down below. And I think that's it. I really don't have very much more to elaborate on. So, if you have been, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, comment, subscribe and all that good stuff, and we will see you, or I will see you, in the next video. Take care, keep your social distancing. If you live in certain parts of the world, do go and vote. It's important. Goodbye.